Now we are going to move the next topic of radius of the orbit of the electron and the velocity of the electron. For that, now consider the atom. It consists of a nucleus and electron. Here nucleus is at rest, electron is moving around the nucleus in circular orbit. And here in the nucleus, it consists of protons and neutrons. Protons having the positive charge, neutrons having the no charge. So, total charge of the nucleus is nothing but a total charge of the protons. Total charge of the protons. So, it is nothing but a Ze plus Ze. So, Z is nothing but the atomic number of the atom. Electron having the negative charge. Then, here some force will be acting between the electron and nucleus. Such a force is electrostatic attraction force. So, according to Coulomb's law, force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron can be written. The force of attraction between the nucleus and electron is F Coulombs equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze minus E by Rn squared into R cap. That is a unit vector. That is the unit vector. So, this force will be provides the necessary centripetal force for the electron to revolve around the nucleus. To revolve around the nucleus, so we can write centripetal force is equal to mvn squared by Rn, the unit vector R cap. The unit vector R cap. So here m is the mass of the electron. It will be moving with the velocity Rn, Vn, with the velocity Vn in the circular orbit. So, we can write F Coulomb modulus will be equal to F centripetal force. Okay. So, now we equate 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Ze minus E by Rn square will be equal to mvn squared by Rn. Now we are going to find the radius of the orbit Rn. So we can write Rn is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught mvn Rn squared divided by here Vn squared is E square. For our derivation, we are going to multiply and divide by m. So m here another one m, so m squared. So we can write 4 pi epsilon naught mvn Rn the whole square divided by Z E squared m. Z E squared m. From the four assumption, we know the angular momentum. The quantization condition. So, angular momentum we can write mn Vn is equal to Ln. L is the angular momentum. So, angular momentum is equal to mvr. For the nth orbit, we can write mvn Rn is equal to Ln. And another one we know n h cross. Okay. So, therefore, we can write the radius of the orbit Rn is equal to n is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught mvn Rn the whole square divided by Zm E square. So, instead of mvr, we can write nh cross. So, 4 pi epsilon naught, instead of mvn Rn, we can write nh cross, the whole square divided by Zm E square. Already we know that h cross equal to h by 2 pi. So, we can write Rn is equal to If you substitute the h cross equal to h by 2 pi na 4 pi epsilon naught n. So h squared by 4 pi squared e squared. So z m e square. 4 cancel, pi cancel. So remaining we can write epsilon naught n squared h squared divided by pi m e square into z. Here epsilon naught h, pi, m, e and z, these are all the constant values. So z is the atomic number, it will be vary. So remaining things are constant. So we can write epsilon naught h squared, n is the number of orbit, pi m is the d squared into n squared by z. These are all constant. It can be replaced by the constant a naught. So or n is equal to a naught into n squared by z. N squared by z. So here a naught is equal to epsilon naught h squared divided by pi m e square. Pi m e square. Okay. So radius of the nth orbit or n is equal to a naught into n squared by z. N squared by z. So here z is the atomic number. Z is the atomic number. If we substitute the known values, we are getting the constant value. We are getting the constant value. A naught is equal to A naught is equal to 0.59 Armstrong. 0.59 Armstrong. Okay. It is called as the unit of length. It is called as the Bohr. So Bohr radius is also called as the unit of length. It is called as the Bohr. So 1 Bohr is equal to 0.53 Armstrong. 0.53 Armstrong. So 1 Bohr is equal to 0.53 Armstrong. Okay. For hydrogen atom, we know the Z is equal to 1. So radius of the nth orbit or n is equal to, general formula we know the a naught into n squared by z. For hydrogen atom, Z is equal to 1. So we can write R1 is equal to a naught into n squared by 1. For the first orbit, Z is equal to 1, the same one we can write R1 is equal to a naught into 1. A naught into 1. So simply we can write 0.529 Armstrong. 529 Armstrong. For the second orbit, is n is equal to 2. So R2 is equal to 4 a naught n squared. So we can write 4 into a naught. We get a 2.116 Armstrong. For third orbit, n is equal to 3. So R3 is equal to 9 a naught. So 4.761 Armstrong. 761 outside it will be going on. So from this we can know, as the radius of the orbit is increases from the center. we can write A0 is the constant, n is the number of orbit, z is the atomic number. Here Rn and n is the directly proportional. So we can write Rn directly proportional to n square. Rn directly proportional to n square. So radius of the orbit from the center is increases with the increasing of n. Okay. So the Bohr angular momentum from the quantization condition, we know mvn Rn, Rn we know as the Rn is equal to, we know, A0 into n square for z is equal to 1. Okay. So we can write mvn n squared into A0, nh by 2 pi. nh by 2 pi mvr is the angular momentum. So mvr is equal to, instead of Rn we can substitute A0 into n square. That will be equal to angular momentum nh by 2 pi. From this we can find the velocity of the electron. Vn is equal to h by 2 pi m into A0 z by n. That is the velocity of the electron revolving around the nucleus. Okay. So from this h, z is atomic number for hydrogen atom, it will be 1. Pi, m, A0, these are all constant value. So we can write velocity of the electron revolving around the nucleus, Vn is inversely proportional to n. So from this we can say, as the velocity of the electron, from the equation of Vn is inversely proportional to 1 by n, we know that velocity of the electron is decreases as increasing the principal quantum number. Okay. When we draw the graph between velocity and principal quantum number, we get a rectangular parabola. So from the graph we come to know, in the ground state, velocity of the electron revolving velocity of the electron in the ground state is maximum when compared to the excited state. That means velocity is inversely proportional to principal quantum number. Okay. So that means at the ground state, velocity reaches the maximum. That's all. Next, in the case of radius of the orbit revolving around the nucleus, as the radius increases when the principal quantum number is increases. So in the first orbit, radius is, we know that 0.529. In the second orbit, radius is 2.116 Armstrong. In the third orbit, radius is 4.761 Armstrong. It will be going on. So in the sixth orbit, we are getting when we substitute the known value.